Imagine, if you will, a young girl, third, maybe fourth out of 6 or 7 children, single parent household, single mom, works nights, minimum wage job, no father, should be at least 4 of them, but none of them are present in the home, much less the lives of their children. Imagine, if you will, a young girl, prepubescent, beautiful, growing into her own. The signs of a shapely figure, all there. Flawless skin, decent length hair, decent student. Imagine, if you will, a home, not opulent in its offerings, but they make do. Some days they go without breakfast, some nights they go without dinner. But for the most part, the 6 or 7 children, they're happy. Imagine, if you will, one day, this tenuous hold that they have on a decent living comes crashing down, at least for this one young girl. Imagine, if you will, some fiend, some heinous creature, a relative no less, abuses and molests this young girl while her mom is at work at night. Imagine. She holds the tatters of her clothing together until her mom comes home and reports the incident to her mother. But imagine, she doesn't believe her. Just imagine how this young girl feels. She pulls her wits together about her and pretends it never happened because mommy says so. Now just imagine mom starts to date another guy. He's helping with the bills. He's helping with the food. None of the kids are biologically his. And his lascivious eyes rests on this young girl, already bruised by a member of her own family. He bruises her even further and shatters her already fragile mind. Not learning anything from the previous incident, she still goes back to her mom and reports this incident. Mom doesn't believe her, but this time, mom gives her a beating that she will never forget. Deadens her heart right inside her little chest. She grows up not trusting anyone, deadened to the world. She goes to school. She's introduced to drugs. Young boys seeing her beauty, not understanding, not capable of appreciating her fragile state of mind. They whisper sweet nothing in her ears. And this little girl, already so fragile, wanting to belong, wanting to be loved, believes and hopes that maybe this young boy will come to appreciate her for who she really is. Maybe he'll see the hurt in her and make it go away. But he doesn't. All he wants is a little taste. All he wants is to tap that ass. And so it continues. Boy after boy after boy. By then, she's hooked on drugs. She's already smoking weed every day just to get through the day. She graduates and it all escalates. Every man who comes into her life uses her for his own pleasure, leaving her with nothing. She's hooked. She's hooked on drugs. She's graduated from weed and is now hooked on hard drugs. Her mind is broken. It's shattered. She doesn't care. She cares for no one. Least of all, herself. And there they come. Predators, hunters, just looking for the kill. She's hard up. She's no money. She has no home. She has no family. She's jonesing for a hit. And that they promise her. For a little hit, will you allow us to have our way with you? And she agrees. Why not? It's not like she has anything to hide. It's not like she has anything to save her virginity for. It's long gone, long before it ought to have been gone. So these animals, they drug her up. They give her a little heat. And there she is at their mercy to do whatever they want with her. They tie her up. They drug her up and proceed to have, you know the word, next with her. It's all recorded. It's all on tape. And she thinks it's okay because you know what? Those men who were supposed to care for her, those men who were supposed to have been her protectors, they did it to her. So why not? She's just there. She's deadened to the world. They abuse her. It's not enough that they abuse her. They now have to use implements, pieces of wood, bottles, rattles, anything that they can lay their hands on. And if they could find the right animal, the right dog, they would unleash that on her. So just imagine for one moment that you cared, that little girl was your sister, your daughter, your niece, your granddaughter. Just imagine that little girl begging, crying out for help, doing whatever it took to get some notice so that somebody could love her and protect her. And you know what? You know what you say? She asked for it. She deserved it. This is not the first time. How could you live with yourself? How could you be a mother, a grandmother, a father, a son, and see something like that happen to a young girl and think it's okay? And think it's okay that because she consented, because she said yes, that she actually meant yes. How could you? How could you think it's funny? How could you think? How could you not want to help? How could you think that that act was not rape? How could you think that that act was not disgusting and animalistic and hedonistic? How could you think it's okay? Because in her drugged out state, she said yes. and agreed when she had no business condoning that? How could you think it is okay? This young woman may not have been your sister or your child, your niece or your granddaughter. These men may not have cared about her, but one thing we all know, they have a mother. How would they feel if some animal had done that to their mother? And you all know what I'm talking about, because all of you shared that damned video and you posted it and you said it was okay and you said it was funny and you said she deserved it and you thought it was okay to send it out. And how dare the police say that it's okay, that they can't do anything about it because nobody reported, because she could not report, cannot report, will not report. When will we stand and say it is not okay? When will we say we need to save our children, men, women, grandparents, all of you? When will we stop and say it is not okay for our children to be abused, our girls and our boys? It is not okay. I don't care how old she was. I don't care how much she said yes. I don't care how much she said tie me up. She was not in a position to say yes. And these animals, I don't call them boys. I don't call them men. I call them animals. These animals took advantage of this young girl. And somebody taped this damn thing and posted it for everybody, for the whole world to see. And that is not okay. Can you imagine if it were your child? Can you imagine how you would feel? And the bastards out there who have daughters who say to me, I don't see anything wrong. I saw consenting adults. Shame on you. Shame on you. Can you imagine if it were your daughter? How would you feel? And for you to say, oh, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I say that these men who say it's okay, they too can rape. And if given the chance to take advantage of your daughter, they would. This thing was so disgusting. No matter how many times I deleted, some other idiot who thought that I would find pleasure or joy in this would send it to me. Until I got the strength and the courage to watch this thing in its entirety, and how appalling. I puked, I cried, and I was inconsolable. How dare you people think it is okay? Are we so heartless? Are you so debased? What is your problem? Can somebody not find this young woman and give her the help she so keenly begs for? How dare you say it is funny? How dare you? How dare you say I see nothing wrong with it? How dare you say that this is how some people get off through drugs? Need I remind you that these are illicit drugs? And she said so. Give me my hit. And she also mentions coke in the damn thing. How could you think it's okay? And boo-boo, whomever you are, may God have mercy on your damned soul, because there is a special place in hell just for you and your cronies. How dare you? And you know the saddest thing about it? You know the saddest thing about it? I didn't observe any one of those bastards using a condom. So you know what? You, yes, you young lady, you who know that your boyfriend did this to this young woman? What if she had syphilis, gonorrhea, HIV? You know the chances of them contracting that disease, those diseases, is very high. And guess what? Because they didn't use a condom with her, I highly doubt that you that they trust, that they would use a condom with you. And they've just brought home any amount of illnesses to you. So while you're condoning and laughing it up, she may just have had the last laugh. How dare you condone such an act Today, it is this young woman. Tomorrow, it could be your turn. Because guess what? These young boys, these animals have shown that they have no regard for human life, no respect for women. So guess what? When you don't decide to put out and give it to them doggy style how they want, and how do you cock it up and do all sorts of things and flay it up and hang from the damn chandelier if you've got one. Just imagine what your fate is going to be like. I hope that every woman who has had and will have or had relations with those animals after they did this to this young woman, get yourself checked, tested, and burn them animals, because guess what? They don't love you. If they could do it to one woman, they could do it to you. And all of you sick bastards who pretend Mr. So-and-so with good jobs, and I've got my children and I raise them right. Guess what, honey? Karma has a way of biting us in the ass and coming for us when we least expect it. I hope to God that none of you ever have to deal with a situation where your daughter is treated like less than a piece of meat. And when an animal is raping her and jamming the thing and doing all kind of things with her, to her, I hope you continue to find it funny. How dare you? How dare you? It tells me that our fellow St. Lucians, you're heartless. You don't care for anything but you don't even care about your children. You don't even care about your children, because to find something like that funny when it happens to somebody else's child can't mean that you care about children. Because when you're a father and when you're a mother, when you're a parent, even though you haven't birthed a child, you can't stand to see pain inflicted on any child, bar none. So all of you animals passing out as parents, you're not parents, you're not humans. I don't know what to call you, because even animals care for their young better than some of you. To think it's funny, to think she deserves it, to think that she's just a bee. I mean, come on. What's wrong with you people? Don't you have a soul? Don't you have a soul? No, but it happened a year ago. You know, it's only now surfacing, but it happened a year ago. Who in the hell cares when it happened? It could have happened a year ago, a day ago, a minute ago, a second ago, a millennium ago. It is wrong. You can't do that to someone and expect to feel good about it. What's wrong with you? Something has to be fundamentally wrong with your psyche, with your mind, to find anything funny, to find anything sexy about that. That's ridiculous. I thought my anger toward that video had dissipated, but obviously it isn't. Every time I think about what they're doing to that child, tying her and spreading her ego, you know, as if she's nothing, you know, it's like a pig, you know, we're just gonna gut that. I mean, what's wrong with you people? You may not know this girl, but she's somebody's child. We all have mothers. We may not have sisters, but we all have mothers. We all have grandmothers. Can you imagine someone doing that to your mother, to your grandmother? And you're going to think it's okay because she's made some poor decisions in her life because somebody let her down? I mean, what's wrong with you? We really need to take stock in this country. We really need to take stock in this country of where our priorities lie. Where our priorities lie. We have how many women in the house? In government? Not one of them have come out denouncing this. And even those in opposition, while they're busy, busy on all sorts of platforms, holding political rallies all over the place, talking about the Walcott House, which was closed down. Shame on you, by the way, National Trust. And yes, maybe I do have what you call goat mouth, because I saw that coming. And not more than 2 weeks ago, I mentioned to a friend of mine that if what we see happening in this country, the vindictiveness, the trust will hit back, and they will hit back hard, and they will hit back in a place where it really hurts in the gut. And shame on the media houses just for sensationalism. When talking about the closure of Walcott House, took this man, the Honorable Derek Walcott, and plastered him on television crying at the opening of Walcott House. Shame on you. Shame on all of you. But most of all, shame on the trust. And don't tell me, oh, the government started it. Be the bigger person. Be the damn bigger person. Because if you can raise $2.6 million or however many $1 million that you claim that you can raise, you can bloody well do something about Walcott House and keep Walcott House open for the young people of this country, not just for the visitors coming in. But venerate the damn man. We already don't teach his poetry in school. We already don't do anything about the arts in this country, and we lament that every day. But the first thing that you decide that you're going to cut is Walcott House, shame on you. But back to this young lady. We've got so many so-called female politicians who claim to care so much about the plight of women. And not so long ago, they were out there at the UN talking about, oh, the wonderful things that they're doing, I don't know what, about women. And this is happening to a young woman in your country. What? Because the eyes of the world are not watching? It's okay? It's not okay. It's not okay. And then you want to tell me, you want to ask me about the first year in review, and that's what people are talking about. Oh, it's 1 year today. Are you going to talk about the failures and the successes of government? Let me tell you what the major failure of every government, not just this one, is that we don't care enough. We claim to care about the social being of our people, but we don't care. We don't care. I didn't hear one female politician, much less a male politician, talk about this incident. Not one. But they're busy talking about the DSH program and the dolphinarium and all of this. But the souls of our people are being ripped apart day by day by day. Every second, some child somewhere is being torn apart. And I heard an up-and-coming politician using on his platform, holding up as a beacon of failure, the 9-month little baby who has been our latest victim of homicide. This is whom you're going to hold up and say that the government has failed us? A poor defenseless baby? Meanwhile, other little children are being killed. They're walking dead. And we see the manifestation of these children, these walking deads, I call them, every day. Case in point, that young girl who was so brutally, mercilessly raped on video. And she doesn't even know it. And that's the worst thing. She's not even aware of it. And we're busy having political rallies all over the place. And having Thanksgiving masses. Thanksgiving masses. For what? Because you won the elections? Yay. But what are you doing for the children, the young people who are being brutalized every goddamn day in this country? What are you doing about them for them. And I heard on the news, oh, some director or other of some social department, care, gender, or kids, whatever, we're ensuring that no kid is left behind. So many have been left behind and continue to be left behind. What are you doing about them? I call them the forgettable children, the invisible children. And I'm not just talking about children between the ages of 0 and 15. I'm talking about those who are 40 and 50 and 60, who grew up broken. Not a second of counseling did they ever have. And they grew up with the same brutalizing mentality that they suffered, and repeated the cycle over and over and over and over again, rearing monsters, incubating infidels in their homes, in our communities, in our beautiful St. Lucia. And we want people to come in here and invest in our people. Let us invest in ourselves. Let us not allow politicians to tear us apart and tell us how to feel and how to think. Let us see what's right here in front of us, and let's deal with it with mercy and compassion. If we don't speak out for the defenseless, if we don't speak out for the children, if we don't speak out, God help us. And we call ourselves a Christian nation. Now, I came with a beautiful analogy about pruning trees, but I don't even want to dilute the message. I want to live it with you. I want it to resonate with you. The horror, the underbelly, the scourge which happens in this country where we call simply beautiful. And think about it. Imagine, just imagine, for 1 nanosecond, if you cared, what a simply beautiful country this would be, not just in name, but in action, indeed, in the people who live within. Just imagine if you cared. We're due for a break. When we come back, my guest. Welcome back, St. Lucia. Thank you for staying tuned to another episode of What's Happening Now. I'm your host, Laura Japierre, and I'm hoping that I can make it through this evening without losing my voice, because I really... Anyway, my guest this evening, I have 2 lovely young ladies with me. And in my preamble, I asked, imagine if you cared. Well, these 2 young ladies, they care. And they have a special mission. And they've been embarking on that mission. And I think they're going to go very far. And it'd be interesting to hear how they came about with their mandate. They want to do something different. They see what's going on. They understand the importance of education to young children, and how without an education, you can probably consider yourself just dead. Because you need an education, no matter what road you decide to go down, no matter what line of or career that you decide to take. I need an education. With me this evening is Miss Anika Thompson and Miss Temba Cadet, and they represent an organization called Do Something Different. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Do Something Different. How did that come about?
Well, like everybody thinks it's some dramatic, extravagant story, but it's really simple. I think we've known each other from school, and coming from Sir Arthur and from Convent or from HIS, you see a lot of students and people in your own class who it's obvious that they cannot afford. You see people who have the same uniforms for about 3 years, the same shirts. You can tell it's wearing out, and you don't approach them on it, but you can see it. You see students who don't have things like a pen or a pencil, and you think you see $1 pen, $1 pencil. And I think the worst we saw was at Sarther. We saw a boy who was doing his SBA on a file sheet because he didn't have a laptop. Yes, there are computers in the school, but not enough. And he was doing his SBA on a file sheet, and we were like, in 2016 at the time, people doing SBAs on a file sheet, and it really sparked something. I mean, I didn't talk about it for a while. You know, we mentioned it and we moved on, but it sparked something in us, and she being one of my closest friends, I spoke to her about it, and we were like, you know, why don't we do something where we can give back to people? Not people, but the young people especially, because I feel like sometimes everybody's like, yeah, young people, and then when it comes to the time, there's no support. So we said, why don't we do something where we can uplift the young people, we can encourage each other. And I spoke to her about it. We came up with a number of ideas, and I told her, what do you think about stationery and school bags and simple things that you don't think much of, but it contributes greatly. And we came up with do something different.
Wonderful. So I take it that you two are out of school?
Yes.
About a year now?
Yes, we graduated December.
Great. And you guys are both gainfully employed?
Yes.
Kudos to you, because, you know, I mean, I'm certain you guys are aware of the high unemployment rate
Yes.
in St. Lucia, especially among the young people. So you guys are two of the lucky ones who got employed right out of school, and not just saying, okay, we've got an education and we're working and thinking about yourselves and the latest dresses and the latest parties and what you could do with your own income. But you're also thinking about young people and what you can do for them. How has the drive been going so far?
Well, so far we started doing different events to collect our items. We solely based on social media. So what we did, we created an Instagram profile and a Facebook profile to reach out to the youth, because, you know, again, our motto is youth helping youth for success. So we wanted to keep it based within the youth. So we started on social media. We basically created, you know, different graphics to encourage the youth to contribute stationery items, notebooks, pencil cases. You know, we started small. And recently we did a drive at JQ Mall. On Saturday, in fact. And it was a huge success. We like to thank everybody who came out. It was really good. We got monetary donations and also stationery. You know, we had 2 big baskets full of stuff. You know, we were so happy. And it has been tough, we won't lie. Of course, everybody in the group has their own personal lives, you know. It's been really challenging. Everybody's working, some of us have school.
Online.
You know, so we've been trying, and, you know, we really care about it. We really want it to work. So we're really trying our best, but it's been going good so far.
When did you start your formally?
So we spoke about it late in 2016, but we started formally, released our first video. It was January 10th, 2017. We wanted to start off the new year, something fresh, something different.
Right. So you guys are 6 months in.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's been good. How many of you are in the movement?
There are 5 of us.
Right. And all of you graduated?
No.
No, we have Tervel, who hasn't graduated yet. He just came on board with us recently. He's into photography, so he does all our cool photos that you see, because before we were working on Samsung, not cool. Not cool. So thank you to Tervel, Kairat Photography. Teresa recently came on board with us also. She hasn't graduated yet. She's still finishing, of course. Raquel.
And so they're at Sir Arthur, or you have secondary school?
Tervel is at Sir Arthur, but Teresa does school online.
Okay.
She's more of the graphics person. You know.
Right.
We have Raquel, who's also pursuing her degree online. Works very hard. And Annika and I and Steffi, we're waiting to go to school, so we work.
So how has it been juggling working your social life? Because I know you guys are young, you know, working a social life and doing this. I mean, one of your colleagues was here earlier, and she just looked
she was so
beat
exhausted
up, and she's just coming from another meeting. And I take it you guys are very into giving back to the community.
Well, yes, we do try our best to balance our time. Also, it's crazy because Annika works in Vieux Fort Steffi lives in
In
Soufrière,
Choiseul.
in Choiseul, sorry, and works in Soufrière.
Yeah.
Wow.
Raquel is just all over the place with school and all the different things that she does, so it's very hard to balance out time. And I think when we just started off in the beginning, there was like a week period where we did not talk in the group at all, and we're like, guys,
Guys,
we can't be
focus.
slipping up like this, come on. And we got back on track. But since we've been doing well, we all have planners because it's just one after the next, one
Right,
after the next,
right.
can't be slipping up.
So I take it that you have a deadline. You're trying to hit your first donation for September, in time for September,
Yes.
the new term. How many students are you looking to assist?
Drum roll.
100!
Are you serious?
Yes.
And how do you select those students? How do you determine? I'm assuming that you have a criteria.
Yes.
So basically, we didn't want to make it targeted. We didn't want anybody to feel like, okay, I'm less fortunate, everybody knows. So what we did, we selected some schools, primary schools, secondary schools mainly. And what we decided to do is we're going to go to these schools and the teachers will select who they think deserves, our packages. That's what we're calling them now. And we will know the students, but the public won't know.
The public won't
We
know.
want to keep it that, nobody feels like, wow, okay, everybody knows
Right.
my
Right,
situation. And so we selected the schools and the teachers will be selecting who they think.
So when
These
you
are the
make your
packages.
ultimate presentations, all we will be seeing as
the
citizens
schools.
Is the
that you
schools.
make.
the
Excuse me, you're
schools.
making a presentation
schools.
Right.
to the school, and when the cameras have been shut down, the teachers then will
Yeah.
now
Yes.
distribute.
We really wanted it to be like an incentive to encourage them and not necessarily for anybody to feel like a lot of the times when people offer help and scholarships and things like that, it's always who has the higher grades,
Right.
Yeah.
who does better, who has better performance. And I feel like, yes, that's good, but in the same breath, we just wanted to encourage people. We don't want to make anybody feel like if you don't get higher than 50, then you're not going to get this next
Because
year. No.
statistically speaking, I know St. Lucia, we're really horrid at keeping statistics and monitoring those things. But when you look at it statistically speaking, the children who tend to do best, and there are a few children who do well regardless. They're just gifted and they're able to do with very little a lot. But most of the children who are in the top 10 tier, they can afford.
Yeah.
Amen.
The
Very
parents
true.
can afford
Yeah.
to send them.
When
And
we
the
post
reason
on
why
Yeah.
the other kids are not doing as well is because they don't have basic things.
resources,
I mean,
yeah.
if you don't have paper to do your assignment, how are you going to do the assignment? Oh, miss, I did the assignment in my head. But you can grade it, And maybe what we need to do is to have other forms of testing and not just giving a homework that you have to hand in. Maybe we can do oral testing, to see whether the children actually know what they're learning, what they're supposed to be learning. Because, I mean, the easiest thing is to take homework home and say, Mommy, help.
Yes.
And Mommy
Agreed.
being pressed for time does the assignment. I mean,
Oh, yeah,
my
we
when I
know.
was at-
We know.
Yeah, and then so you get the assignment correct, especially in the second term when it's basically
Yeah,
continuous
continuous
assessment.
assessment.
Yeah, you're acing this thing, but when it comes down to exams, then we're noticing the dearth and the where the children are actually having difficulties. So it's not a stretch of the imagination, but you're right. A lot of these awards go to the highest performing student, which may not necessarily be the more deserving student.
In fact, we made
had
a
a
post.
discussion
Yeah, we had an
on our
Instagram
social
discussion because I just can't understand how the question was. The government seems to think that I think education is an even playing field.
Yes, for all students.
All students have an even playing field because you offered primary up to tertiary level, no secondary, because you have to pay for after up to secondary level education. So the government seems to think that we all offer the
Given the
same
same,
opportunities. If you saw the comments, I was so proud of my young people.
I know, they were
I
so
was
involved.
so intelligent, so involved, and it was really great to see young people. Everybody said, no, it's not an even playing field. How could you possibly tell me that Jane and I are supposed to get the same grades because we have the same teacher and she taught the same thing and give the same assignment, when Jane has a laptop, an iPhone, Jane has her own library at her house
own
to send,
tablet.
Jane has Wi-Fi,
All
Jane
her
has-
textbooks.
Thank you, Jane has everything.
because-
and I have a pencil and a paper.
It's interesting that you said Jane has Wi-Fi because I am notorious for not being a proponent of the laptop a child, and there's a very, very simple reason for that. Yeah, your child has a laptop, But if you don't have the Wi-Fi to access the information which you need, all you could really do is use the Word program or the Excel program. But when you need to do research, you can't do it. Then now we have CXC flipping the script and saying, you know, they're going to be doing the exams online. Okay, would it not be better to invest in computer labs at school? Considering a lot of children come from single parent households and the parents work, and we are a destination country. So it means that a lot of our parents are working in the hotels. So these children are going to be home unsupervised. Would it not be better to invest in education and have better equipped lab facilities, computer labs at school where the children can be supervised? You're creating employment, you're ensuring that your children are in a safe, conducive environment and they're getting the education that they need. And I see those laptops all over the place, not being used. You know, and it's unfortunate that some people need those laptops and they can't get it. But I see them all over the place. I have seen them at dances. I mean, seriously.
That's what we were thinking. Yeah. That's what you're thinking, DJing.
Yeah.
With the laptops.
I mean, you're making a living, so I guess that's good too.
Yeah, but it's not the children. It's not even the children. I mean, I can understand if it's the children, but then again, that poses a whole the kettle of fish, because that's child labor. You know. I mean, and you're working in an environment where there's alcohol, which really you should not be. You know, even if you're 16, you know what I mean. There's alcohol mostly at those dances. You shouldn't be around that. So, you know, so I'm notorious for that. But it really is sad where you have a student at a tertiary level education not having access, not having his own laptop, but not having access to a computer at the school, which is supposed to be our premier institution. Everybody aspires to go there. Is there any plans, future plans, to go bigger beyond the stationary and perhaps laptops and tablets and electronics, that kind of thing, learning devices?
Yes, of course. We always come up with ideas. We're like, okay, guys, we really don't have money for this right now, but we have a lot of plans. Definitely. In fact, in the beginning, initially, what we wanted to do was give out fully equipped school bags, because, you know, school bag is very expensive. A decent school bag, decent, I say, it's like $100, because the books are heavy. It needs to be sturdy, but we're not really getting the school bags like we wanted to. We sent out a lot of letters. My God, I sent a letter everywhere
to every organization you can think of.
And then you call them and it's like, oh yes, call back. All the people say, yeah, we care about the youth. We want to work for the youth, this, youth, that.
But I'm sure if it was a carnival event, I mean,
well, we know how that goes.
People will have been so quick to donate, but
so the things that you guys are donating are not in a school bag. It's just
just for now until we have a few and we have money to get a few. So we will do that. We will make do with what we have. Obviously, we're not going to give up. But we have come up with an alternative for now. But we plan on expanding. Of course, we know.
What's that alternative?
We got it's like a, how do I I saw it on Amazon. I don't know how to explain. It's like not like really a bag, like a tote bag,
like a satchel,
a satchel. So you cannot go to school with it, but is what it will be presented in for now. I guess.
Who says you can't go to school with it?
It's true.
I went to school with kids who went to school with plastic bags. We're talking about like the shopping bags that you get at JQ's, at Super J, Mega, Massey, whatever. No, I'm serious. Listen, Saint Lucia, listen. We've got to put take our pride out of this. I mean, education is what's at stake here, and if somebody is giving you everything that you need in terms of writing implements, stationery, and the 9 yard, but they can't give you a school bag, and the only thing that you have is a shopping bag, a tote bag. Would you not rather go to school with a tote bag than to have nothing at all?
That's true.
That's true.
We do have second-hand bags. We have been getting second-hand bags, which is good. It's still a bag.
Precisely, it's a bag. And even if it's for one term, it's a use that you didn't have before. So have there been any support beside from the young people and, you know, the random stranger from corporate St. Lucia?
Godsman.
Oh, really?
That's where I'm employed.
Oh,
they
great.
Were very, very supportive. Like, they were on board right away. So I'm very thankful for that. Very thankful that the people I work with see lights and they want to support us. But for the most part, not
No.
really. No, I don't want to say not really. It's no.
So far,
So
let's
far,
say
no.
so
We
far
did-
you have not
It's
gotten
been
the
6
support.
months though.
It's been 6 months, and we are in the last month.
mean,
but
we
we have
keep it
hope.
positive.
If you're watching right
Yeah.
now, if I call back tomorrow, feel free to.
Absolutely. Never give hope. Never give up. Have you thought about asking for donations from abroad, from the wider diaspora?
Oh no, we haven't. But we
haven't.
have been getting. It's so strange.
Yes.
I'm expecting a package
Yeah.
sometime this week, actually.
Absolutely.
Oh yes, and somebody's sending a barrel for us. How
Somebody's
could I
sending a
forget?
barrel.
Yes,
Yes.
somebody's sending us an entire barrel, not a
Sterling's
corporation.
Boutique is sending us a box of.
Which boutique?
It's
sorry?
an
Sterling's
online
It's an
Instagram
online
store.
owned by a
nice.
young lady.
She doesn't
young
live
people
here.
again.
She's in. I think her parents are from St. Lucia. She doesn't live here, but she lives in the UK, and she is sending us.
And
box of
that's so
stationery.
important, because a lot of people out there in the diaspora, they have access to things. Maybe they may not be able to send you 10 school bags, but maybe they can send you 2 school bags,
And that's
and maybe they
better
can get their friends. And a lot of these first world countries, they like to help the underdog.
Yeah.
Us third world countries. And you know, this is one time I accept and embrace our status as a third world country. No, seriously, because I mean there ain't no shame in the game of begging.
At all.
I mean, it's true.
You know, you need the help, and I think that's a great area to target. The diaspora, people who are living abroad, who can help, and they have access. They can ask. I remember my aunt, there was one time, asked the hospital, which is maybe the largest hospital in the city that she lived in, and they put together. You'll be very, very surprised how much assistance that you can get. So maybe that's an area that you
We
need
can
to.
look into that.
We did get pens from the under 16 English cricket team
And crayons.
and crayons. They did send us a box. It was called flying pens. They did send us a box of stuff, and we were really grateful for that also. But that is something definitely we can look into more. targeting
Absolutely,
the
absolutely.
white market.
We're due for a break, but when we come back, more of my guests, and the lines will then be open so that you can interface with them and give them suggestions or ideas as to how they can better achieve their mandate. See you on the other side of the break. Welcome back, and thank you for coming back to us and joining me and my guests, and Anika and Temba, who are striving to do something different. And I just lost my mic, so if somebody can come and help me. But they're struggling. They're trying their best to get 100 bags. How many bags have you guys got so far? I mean, if you had to,
School bags?
not school bags, but if packages, yeah.
Woo, we probably have about 50 now. We probably
About 50.
after Saturday's drive, 50 to 60 we should
Right.
have.
So when is your deadline to collect all the stationery that you need?
June 20th, because
So you have about 2 to 3 weeks to collect 50 more packages.
60 more packages.
I am calling out, I'm shameless. I am calling out the Limes and the Flows of this world. If you can find $50,000 to sink in carnival band so that people could go out there and gyrate in the streets in panties and bras, you can find $5,000, you can find $1,000, you can find $500, you can find $50, you can find some money somewhere, hidden somewhere, you know, that you were gonna give to the carnival bands, but you decided to hold off just in case for contingencies. This is your contingency. You've got,
If you support one child.
even if you support one child, that is one
People,
child.
let's help a lot.
There you go. Make your plea.
That's our motto. Our motto is literally give a little, help a lot.
lot.
Some people think, well, I only have a packet of pens. One packet
That's
of pens
fine.
will
It
probably
goes a
go in
long
5
way.
pencil cases.
You
So
know?
thank you.
There you
That will
go.
do well. And it doesn't have to be this grand donation. I remember we called one of the stationery shops that we sent a letter to, and the lady's like, well, we don't really have money. We haven't allocated it. I'm like, you cannot give me one pencil case? My God, my lady, this is like
One scientific
$4.95.
calculator.
One calc, it's
know?
just crazy, and people pump money into every other thing and then come crying on TV and say they care about the youth.
It's that.
It's It's very sad because I think earlier today I heard somebody complaining that, this year there's only one tent before quarterfinals, and then it's straight to quarterfinals, and then they say they're pumping more money into Carnival, and this is our priority. This is our priority. How many tents can you get into the Carnival season before the big yard? And meanwhile, there are children who don't know if they're going to be going back to school. Primary school, nonetheless. Not tertiary level education. Primary school, because their parents can't afford to give them a school bag with the necessary things. The pencils and pens and stationery and whatnot. What do you want to say to corporate St. Lucia?
I think I'm all for the arts and artistry and pushing our Lucian talent and Lucian supporting and our culture. I'm all for it. I think it's great. But I think there comes a time for everything, and we need balance. Balance is something that's really important. And even if you're pumping money into every other thing, but you're not pumping money into social development, into human development, and into giving back, then we're going to have a society that's not cultured, a society that's ignorant, a society that's not balanced. And you can see just what you were speaking about earlier, the video of the young people. I mean, I'm not saying blame the government, but I'm saying it just goes to show how we're lacking somewhere. And not necessarily that you helping us or contributing to us is going to solve St. Lucia, or solve the problems of the island, or heal the world. But it's a start. And if I just stop preaching and start, we have a call.
We have a call online. Thank you for holding, and thank you for calling. What's happening now with Laura?
Hi, Laura.
Hi, good evening.
Of course, I couldn't let the evening end without making a commitment.
Of course.
Annika is my daughter, and of course, the other girls are my girls too. So I want to donate $100.
Wonderful.
I'm happy doing that. Annika knows and Timber knows that I love to give. I believe in giving. And of course, it's for a worthy cause. So I will donate $100.
Thank you,
Thank
Mommy.
you so much. Thank you so much. And that's what it is. Giving, sharing is actually showing how much you care. And thank you so much, Portia, for donating this $100 to the girls, and not just to the girls, but to the children out there who need it, because that's who you're donating to. And I love the motto, which is give a little, help a lot. It's amazing what $100 can do for several children, for that matter.
Exactly. And we always have negative things to say about the youth. And when young people rise up and see a need and really come out and support and do something for maybe another young person who's in need, I think that's awesome. That's
absolutely
putting, positivity into all the negative things that are happening in the world, and I really applaud them.
Absolutely.
And of course, I have no choice but to give.
Absolutely.
It's a worthy cause.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your contribution.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
And St. Lucia, this is just the first caller donating $100. I know some of you must be listening and saying $100. I cannot donate $100. If you can donate $10, I'm certain the girls will appreciate it. We have another call online. Thank you for calling. You're on the air.
Yeah, good night, Laura. Great show as usual. Keep up the great work, but please put up their contact information, their cell phone numbers, so I can get in touch with them. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so very much. And we're going to put up the information, if you guys don't mind, as soon as our producer can get the information on the screen, we will put it out there so that you can. Sorry? Okay, so just to call it out, and then he can put it up.
Our Facebook and Instagram is at DSDSLU.
To DSD, that's do something different.
DSDSLU.
Our email, dsdslu@gmail.com. And we have a DSD hotline, we like to call it. So that's 720-0373.
Say that again.
720-0373.
There you go. So they've given you Instagram, they've given you email, and a telephone number that you can call. We have another call online. Thank you for calling. You're on the air.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Do you only accept stationery, or can you get books?
Yeah, we
And
are also
you guys
collecting
books or
books.
notebooks or this thing?
Yes. Notebooks are very important and they're
Very
also very
important.
expensive. I went to buy a stack
Like
of notebooks.
storybooks too?
I beg your
Yes,
pardon?
we are collecting storybooks as well.
Yes.
Textbooks, storybooks, notebooks. Yes.
Anything that can help any child at any stage of the education and the development, they will accept.
Yes, and it could be used to once it's in good condition.
condition.
Don't give
Absolutely.
anything you wouldn't want to receive, but once it's in good condition, we accept used stuff as well, of course.
Thank you.
You're very
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you.
So there we go. We're getting the help, we're getting the assistance, and I hope a lot more of you call to commit to helping do something different. These young ladies, it's amazing. You saw one of your colleagues at school doing an SBA,
on
which you
file
think,
sheet.
we have SBAs all the time, and
Yeah.
you're sitting at the comfort of your home doing your SBA, and this young man is manually writing.
Yes, that's
We have another call online. Thank you for calling.
Hello, hi.
Hi, good evening.
Hello.
Hi, this is Kemba's mommy. What's a smile? Hi. First off, Laura, that's an awesome show tonight. Your discussion was really, I was already incensed personally because this situation, a friend of mine called me from New York to talk about this. She was so angry and so incensed about it because she got the video and she was like, she couldn't even look at the entire video. She was like, why would you send that to me? And I said to her, I don't even want to know. I do not want to see, because that is totally unacceptable. So it's like I heard this phrase used once. I was out of St. Lucia, and a woman said I was incandescent with rage, and that's what came out with you there. It was like, it was genuine, it was heartfelt, and I think everybody who was listening to your program tonight would have understood and would have felt your pain, because I felt exactly your level of anger. But let's move on to the more positive things. Sember and Anika, great job, guys.
Thank you.
Portia started it off, so of course I have to continue, although all of my resources are being used. But anyhow, that's it. I'm going to fall right behind
0373.
Portia and do the other 100. We're going to start like that. And I hope
Awesome.
other people continue to contribute, because I know these girls work extremely hard. And like they said, it's really disheartening for young people to be trying to make a contribution like that, and they cannot get the support. And
Absolutely.
kudos to Guardsmen for the support that they've given to them and everybody else who has contributed. And, hopefully you guys can get a lot more support after tonight.
Yes.
So I wish
Absolutely.
you all the best.
Thank you
tonight.
so
Thank
very
you,
much.
Pauline.
And I'm thanking for you guys, and I do that all the time. I'm a part of the whole thing already, and I really appreciate the callers, the viewers calling to contribute.
People are calling
We have
our
another
phone.
call. We have another call online. Thank you for calling. Hello.
Good night, this is Laura Sure.
Yes, it is. This is what's happening now. You're on the air.
Okay, I really like to commend your two young ladies. This is very positive, because most times we say young people are not doing anything. So I'd actually like to make a pledge off the air, actually, in terms of supporting the.
You want to make a pledge off air?
Yeah, I see the number there, actually.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
so you can
So
call a
what you
little
could do,
later,
you
okay.
can call after the show.
Yes.
You can call the number. Say the number again.
720-0373. It's right there.
Right. So the number is on the screen right now. So you can call after the show. We end at 10 o'clock. And so you can call them and make your pledge directly to the young ladies.
Okay, so I'd really like to say congratulations to them.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for calling and for your anticipated contribution.
Please call after the show.
And this is what it's all about. This is why these young ladies are here, because it's so hard when you're trying as young people to do something positive and not getting the feedback from the people who claim that they care.
Yeah.
We have another call online.
Hi, good evening, Laura.
Good evening.
How are you?
Great, wonderful. How are you?
I'm good. It's good to see you actually got a reason to calm down. I like that. I would like to applaud the young ladies for the contribution that they're making to society. No matter how small, it can go a long way. And I personally love helping people as well. So when persons join, each one can help each other. And we would like to, when I say we, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Nelly's World. That is a store on Brazil Street in Castries and also Baywalk, where we actually engage in educational stuff for children. So we would like to take this opportunity to contribute to your venture in whatever small way that we can in supplying probably some books and stationery towards your venture success.
Thank you.
so much.
So I'm not sure. Are you familiar with the place?
Yes, we
Yes,
are.
we know where it is.
Yeah.
All right. So then you could stop in at the Castries branch, and one of the staff there would gladly assist.
Thank you so much.
Our pleasure.
Thank you so much for contributing, and thank you so much for calling. And this is so touching for me because the girls are tearing up. They're so touched that the viewers are calling and contributing. We have another call online. Hello, good evening. You're on the air.
Hi, good evening, Laura.
Hi, good evening.
I'm just calling to provide some words of encouragement for the young women who have taken up this initiative. I think oftentimes we try to do a lot of the youth development work without actually paying attention to the individual needs of our young people, especially our students. So I think this initiative is something different, like the name depicts, do something different. And I really look forward to partnering with this group and the National Students Council to take this not only, in individual drives to the school, but have the Students Council develop an ownership of the program so that they can get the students to contribute towards the cause so that we can have a greater contribution made. Also, I want to make a call out for civil society to sponsor this drive because honestly, I believe it's something really needed in the society, and I hope that the girls continue going and they get more support from the wider public as they go on.
Thank you, Ajani.
Absolutely. Well said.
You're welcome.
Yes. Thank you so much for your contribution. And this is what it is. St. Lucia, please help these young. You're not helping them. You're helping the countless young people out there who will probably not be able to attend school in September. We have another call online. Hello. Good evening.
Hi. Good evening.
You're on the air.
I saw the start of your program, and I know, Laura, how emotional you was because that's the view that I shared when I somehow watched this video. I got the stomach to watch this video because, again, it was forwarded. I have taken a principled position not to forward videos of that nature.
Absolutely.
When it's young persons, because we could all fall prey to something like this. But I like the turnaround of your program where you have young ladies, and we always advocate for doing things for the youth. I think some callers have even expressed this, so I won't go any further. But as the CSA president, I am Yvonne Edwin, and I would like to pledge towards this initiative.
Thank you
so
so
much, I will continue
Yvonne.
with the $100, but I'm sure whether it is through the CSA membership or whether it is through any other initiative that we can support. But I personally would like to pledge $100 because I think volunteering and taking small actions such as this could go a long way. And I really wish that the members of the public who are listening, this initiative is an awesome initiative. You have young ladies who saw a need, and it is initiatives like that we need to support.
Absolutely.
Sometimes the young persons do not get the avenues, and I think this is just one initiative. I see them tearing up. But
Absolutely.
I think this is very
Thank
positive. And given you have two young ladies who saw this, and a group of them have taken this as a project, has taken this as a venture for young persons, I think it is awesome. So I will pledge personally $100, and whatever support that can be rendered, I think these are the programs for our country. This is what we need.
Great.
And so I am willingly pledging and my personal support to this initiative.
Thank you so much, Yvonne.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And this is what it is. And you guys are going to make me like, and I'm a sucker for tears. I mean, but this is what your hard work. This is the fruition of your hard work. We have another call online. Thank you for calling. What's happening now with Laura?
Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Yes, my name is Cynthia, and I just want to thank the two young ladies.
I'm sorry, I didn't get that.
My name is Cynthia.
Cynthia?
Cynthia.
Uh-huh.
And I just want to...
Uh-oh. I am so sorry. Please try calling back. We really would really like to engage you and hear what you have to say. But this is amazing, the support. We may not be getting the support from corporate St. Lucia, but the citizens of St. Lucia, they do care, and they're answering the call. We have another call online. Thank you for calling. What's happening now? You're
Hello,
on the
good
air.
evening.
Hi, good evening.
I find this program to be very interesting. It's a very, very good.
Thank you.
Initiative by those two young ladies. I have daughters myself. I'm calling from Tirofi, Makewood. My name is Anthony Mangal, and I would like to donate $200 to it.
Oh no!
Thank you
I need you
so
to tell
much.
me where I can meet you all, any one of you, tomorrow morning, so I can give you all the money.
Okay.
Thank you. I'll listen to you on air.
Okay. He says his name was Anthony.
Anthony Mangal.
Anthony Mangal. Okay.
Call us in the morning.
Okay.
It's around 8:30.
But I work in Viewport. So
Right.
Yes,
Right. Because I was about to do
suggest.
Yes. I'm like so at a loss for words. Suggest that I be the go-between because I live in the south and I'm, you know. But Anika, you're going to be the layperson. So if Anthony, you can call 720-0373. The number is on the screen in the morning, and the young ladies will liaise with you as to how you can contribute. We have another call online. Thank you for calling. What's happening now? Thank you for holding. Hello.
And the girls for such
Hi.
a
Good evening.
Hello. Good evening.
Yeah. Can you speak up? I can hardly hear you.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I just want to commend the girls on such a great job that they're doing. This is so much needed in St. Lucia, and so much needed. They don't even know how much it's needed. And I just want to let them know that I also want to make a donation of $100. I've been donating through a similar program. Okay, and I appreciate what these girls do so much. And there's a lot of people out there who wants to support them. I'm not sure if they'll be able to get the chance tonight, but yeah, and just let them know that there's a lot of kids out there that need the help.
Absolutely.
The help that they're gonna they will be providing, and later on they should extend it to more, to more for
Absolutely.
whatever. You understand?
If you could just tell them your name and how they can get in touch with you.
I'd rather give that information.
Okay, off air. Okay, so you're gonna call them. You can call them
our
after
number.
the show. Yeah. So the number is on the screen. It's 720-0373.
So yeah, I could send them a message through that number.
Absolutely.
Okay, thanks. No problem.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
And this is what it is. I mean, look at this is the graphic. This is designed by you guys.
No. It was designed by Jelani Labon. Thank you so much.
Oh, okay. So that's
Jelani.
he's not a part of your group.
No, but he's so supportive and he's
Wonderful.
so helpful. So this was by Jelani. I had no idea what actually I came up with a horrible design. Let me confess.
Yeah, Tamba, you cannot draw.
I can't. It was a horrible design, and then I asked Jelani.
We have another call.
Yes, that's the same young lady called a while ago.
Sorry.
That's the same lady that called a while ago.
Oh yes.
Hi, Cynthia.
So sorry.
I am going to applaud the two young ladies. Starting a program almost like that with the Ghetto Boys. I want to reach out to them to tell them they could write any letter that I can drop anywhere. I will call them and give them my number. I can work with them. I do not have the money, but I can work with them so we could get the donation. I love doing that, and I love helping, and I love reaching out to people that cannot support because I know where I came from. I know what I have been through. So I will be all out with you all ladies to help you all get more donations.
Thank you
so much.
And that's what it's all about. If you can't give a donation in cash,
support.
you can give it in kind. The support is well needed. Thank you so very much.
Yeah, you know what happened?
Hello?
Hello?
Yes?
People don't understand when people in need. People don't understand. A lot of us don't understand the struggle of life. I remember growing up, I can give that little story, where I didn't have bread to eat. I didn't have money to send my children to school. So I know what it is. What has blessed me now, I can give you all the help. I will call you all after the show that you all could write up the letters to me. I have people in Central Castries that I could donate the letters to, and we could reach out to help the young people.
Thank you. Thank you.
Positive night, ladies, and keep on doing the good work, like I also doing with the young boys in the ghetto. Also, I will put up radio, the rhythm station. You will give me a letter for them so that they could reach out with you all too.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Have a wonderful and blessed night.
Thank you so much, Cynthia. And that is it. If you can't give cash and you cannot give stationery, you can't give pens and pens, but you can give your time to assist with the cause. That is very, very much welcomed in this case. Wow. Did you ever think that tonight you would have gotten so much assistance?
I didn't want to come. I was so tired. I was like, oh my God, Annika, must I? Like, I'm so tired. It's a lot of work. You know, you look at it and you think, oh, they just collect this, but it's a lot of work and it's very time consuming. And we don't just sit at home and doing DSD all day. No, we have to work too. We have to go to, some of us go to school online and then we come home and we still trying to do DSD stuff. We're still trying to organize it. So it's nice to see.
Wonderful. We have another call online.
Hi, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
I want to just congratulate or say hats off to Temba and is it Anika?
Anika. Yes.
Anika, right. I was a former teacher and I could tell you that whatever it is that you guys are trying to gather, it is absolutely needed. There are a lot of kids who are without. There are a lot of kids who come to school without food. Well, I'm no longer a teacher, but I can say there were. A lot of kids who could not concentrate, a lot of kids who are acting up simply because they came to school without food, right? They don't have stationery, they don't have books. And sometimes I think although some teachers were compassionate, there were other times some teachers could not understand because they could not relate to them. So I know the importance of what you are doing, though small, but it's going to assist. However, what I would recommend is, Temba and Anika, that you guys could also think of the school feeding program and have some of the members of the corporate community assist because it is really needed. Earlier, I think, Laura, you spoke to the issue of children. No, it was Anika and Temba who spoke about kids. They don't give on merit basis. They give to kids who are in need, and which is very important and is very true because kids who a lot of the times are not performing at school, it is because their brains cannot function because their brains are really lacking. They don't have the nutrition. They don't have the nutrition in their bodies that would allow the brains to work. So it is something that I think that you guys should try to focus on as well. And I do also want to pledge some maybe $200, Temba and Anika.
Junior,
sorry. You can't hear the graphics in the background, but there is some. Oh my gosh! They have their own cheerleaders in the background, and they're really applauding you right now. Thank you so much.
But I know I can relate to it. What you're doing, I can relate. But I think it's a really good initiative, especially to attractive young ladies who could be thinking of doing so many other things with their time.
Yes.
So I think it's really commendable, and don't give up, no matter how hard it is, because at the end of the day, whatever you guys do, give and it shall be given back to you, President, shaking together, running over. I'm sure you guys have plans for your future to go to school, you know. Do it. Give up the time. Give up your time, your talents, and everything else. And things are going to work out for you.
Absolutely.
All right, Laura, you spoke about karma earlier. Karma in good and bad.
Definitely.
So, guys, I will pledge. I will call this number tomorrow and do what I could do, and also speak with some of my friends in the corporate community to see how much they can assist.
Wonderful. Thank you so very much. Thank you.
All right.
And this is what it's all about. You know, it's about reaching out and touching the hearts, pulling at the heartstrings of the citizens of this country. And I often ask on this show, do you care? You know, imagine a world where you care. And I'm always so humbled when I'm proved wrong, when St. Lucians say they care, and we don't just care by words, we care by deeds, and we're going to show how much we care. And you guys have almost, you know, amassed in commitments $1,000 right there, just like that. I mean, I applaud you guys so much. There's so much more, as the last caller said, you could be doing. You could be out there just living it up. You're young. This is the time for you to really feel selfish. You know what I mean? You know, look out for yourself. You're out of school, you're working, you want to think, you know, let your hair down, let your hair loose, and enjoy life. And instead, you're carving out of your time. And you talked about balance earlier, Atemba. And this is what it is. You're balancing out. And sometime in the near future, hopefully, you guys will be going off to school. And if you're going out of the region, one of the things that colleges and universities look for in their prospective students, their ability to do other stuff outside of the academics. So it's not just about the academics and the sports, and it's other extracurricular activities that you do, your human nature, you know, how you give back to community. What are you going to do with the education that you receive in school? We have another call online.
Yes, good night.
Hi, good evening.
Good night to you, the two beautiful ladies you have there.
Good night.
And I would like to donate $50.
Thank you.
Thank you.
To the work you're all doing, which I know is a good work, you know. May the Almighty bless you all for that, you know, and that you'll reach very far in what you're doing.
Thank you.
Okay?
Yes.
I'll go by the name of Mr. Erme.
Okay.
Okay, and I will get in touch with you all to donate that 50.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Erme.
And you all are the daughters of my aunt. Have a great night.
Thank you so much. And the number to call, St. Lucia, is 7200373. Even if you're unable to get the line this evening to pledge publicly, call this number, 720-0373.
Don't call now.
You're calling now, but you have to call after the show because this is a live show. So you can call at 10 o'clock. It's about 7 minutes away. Call Anika, Temba, the Do Something Different crew, and donate. Pledge, if not your time, the money, or the stationery, your network, your network ability. We have another call online. Thank you for calling. We lost the call, but call back. Keep trying. We have about 2 more minutes where you can call to publicly pledge your support. We have another call online. Thank you for calling. Hello? Okay, so we lost that call again. Your last words to...
Well, we have to say special thanks to our partners, Wave Maker Photography, James and Company.
Hold that thought. We have another call. Thank you for calling. You're on the air. Okay, something seems to be wrong because that person keeps calling and the line keeps dropping. So Wave Maker Photography.
Jonathan Phillip, Alana Arthur,
Chef
Coco.
Summer Jewel, that's Cher, Sterling's Boutique. We recently had a draw to encourage people to donate, and that's where all these names are coming from. Cherry Cakes and so many other people. We didn't forget anybody.
We have our final call online. Thank you for calling.
Yeah, good
night.
The good works you're doing, I appreciate that, and keep it up. Because in this time we are living, the good thing we are doing is not lasting. But let us continue praying for you all that these good works you are doing there will go and go and go and go. Because we in this world don't like good things, and we doesn't keep up the good things. If it was any bad things that we're doing, everybody will take part. But right now, these good things, people doesn't like it. So all what I'm asking, prayer for you all that it can continue.
Thank you so very much. Yes, so we were saying, so you have a number of persons, and even if you're unable to call everybody, you want to thank them, and I'm sure that they know that it's not a malicious or you're deliberately not or you're not grateful.
You know, we're all up in a moment.
Right. So you want to thank the JQ people for allowing you to be outside, and the off-shop people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Guardsman.
Yes, of course. How can you forget Guardsman?
Bibiana, Jelani for this awesome design.
Wonderful. Do you now think that you're going to get the other 50?
Yes, I do.
Yes, we do.
Wonderful.
Really?
And I'm making a special appeal to corporate St. Lucia. The flows and the digitals. I know it may seem as if I am nitpicking on you guys, and it may seem, you know, like as if you guys are the only corporations in the city. You're not. But you are the ones who are most visible. You are the ones that almost, if not every St. Lucia, uses your services. Have a little heart. It's not always about the fun and games and the parties and the carnival and the concerts. There are St. Lucians who will someday be your customers, who are yearning, who need a helping hand. And it could be $100, but I think you could do a little bit more than $100. Private citizens are donating $100 and $200. Can you find it somewhere in the coffers to donate $5,000? What about the banks? Bank of St. Lucia, Nova Scotia, First Citizens. How about you? Almost, if not all St. Lucians bank at one bank or another. The credit unions, Labrador Credit Union, we have the Mico Credit Union, we have Civil Service Credit Union, and thanks so much to Yvonne. And, you know, Yvonne is as good as a word. She's going to help. She's going to work with her team, her membership, to see if they, you know, they can donate some more. We have so many. The Tourism and Hospitality Credit Union. We have Elks Credit Union. $100, $50. What is the motto again, young ladies?
Give
a little, help a
lot.
lot. Whatever little that you can give, I am certain it'll go a long way to assisting these ladies in their quest to ensure that 100 students, our children, our citizens, can get an opportunity to go to school in September with a school bag full of the implements that they would need for good studies. We're calling on the parliamentarians. I know all the time is, you know, we're calling you citizens just like the rest of us. But is there somewhere in some ministry somewhere
education
where you can find $1,000 that you can donate to do something different, so that we can meet the goal of 100 students? And it's not just about, right now, I'm certain that they have the 100 packages to give to these students, but they're still short of school bags, right? School bags. They need the school bags so that they can put the books in. And we're not talking about fancy totes like Jan Sport and all of that. Simple school bags will do. But at the same time, they need to be sturdy because they need to last an entire year. The year has 3 terms, and sometimes, you know, a school bag doesn't last an entire term. We're looking for school bags that will last the entire year. Please contribute. Please donate. I know things are hard. I know that, you know, everybody, we all have our own issues and our own priorities. But if you could find $1, $5, $10, we can find money to follow our political parties to rallies. Even when elections are nowhere around. If we can find that money to do that, we can find $10, $20, $30 to donate and contribute to do something St. Lucia, do something different, so that they can assist 100 students, and maybe, just maybe, 150. Yeah?
The more the merrier.
The more the merrier. And this is where we end tonight. We've come to the end of our show. Before we leave, I'm going to ask you guys to just make mention of the various ways that people can get in touch with you.
Okay, so it's DSDSLU.
Take it slow.
DSDSLU on Instagram and Facebook, and telephone number is 720-0373.
And our email, of course, is dsdslu@gmail.com.
Wonderful. And this is all the time that we have tonight. But before we leave, I just want to ask St. Lucians to please, those of you who've called, you've showed that you care. sharing is caring. And when you get those videos, St. Lucia, of people perpetuating or the words are not even coming, it's all jumbled in my mind. But when you get these videos of people doing those things to other people, I beg of you, do not share them. This is not the kind of sharing that we're talking about. Do not share them. This is actually the distribution of pornographic material. And the police says that their hands are tied, but they will admit that the crime of sharing pornographic material is very real. And I would urge the police to launch an investigation and to send a signal, a very strong one, to anybody out there who would think of doing that kind of act ever again, that it will not be tolerated. I thank you so much for staying tuned. Until next week, adieu.